The NAACP is calling on the Department of Justice to open an investigation into Georgia's online voter registration removal process. This comes after the state launched a cancellation portal that makes it easy for people to remove someone else's voter registration without them even knowing it. Joining us now is Derek Johnson, President and CEO of the NAACP. Mr. Johnson, thank you. Tell us how this works, how did it happen, and how did they pull this off without anyone knowing?
It's unfortunate that anyone can... It's unfortunate that MAGA is able to remove someone from the voting rolls without their knowledge and without any evidence that they should be removed. We should be in a democracy where the policy priorities are on the table and people can make a choice. You shouldn't be able to cheat your way to win an election. And so for the NAACP, we're calling on the Department of Justice to step in to ensure that every qualified voter can exercise an effective ballot and that we have an election that's more reflective of the will of the American people and not stolen by conservative and MAGA Republicans.
And how would this work? What jurisdiction would the Justice Department have? Would it be under the Voting Rights Act?
Well, it is a federal election. And so in that case, they are infringing on the right of voters to participate in a federal election. There are components of the Voting Rights Act that can be invoked. But in general, the state of Georgia should not allow an unknown third party to remove a large number of voters without those voters' knowledge. We're talking about citizens who are qualified voters who've done everything necessary to participate in the election, and they should be able to cast an effective ballot. MAGA Republicans should not be able to steal any elections. American citizens should be outraged as we ensure the integrity of this democracy and the integrity of the election process.
And is it local election boards or supervisors? Are they cherry picking just people by name and districts in minority areas? Or do they have individual people they're targeting?
We first got notice, our state conference president, Gerald Gregg, because the local board of elections got notice from the state. So, Andrea, you can log on and have me removed from the voter roll if I was a registered voter in Georgia, and then it comes to the local election board. That should not be the case under any circumstances. Once individuals are registered and they're qualified, they should be allowed to participate in this election. And we should not allow any set of interests to steal the election by removing qualified individuals from the act of voting. It's a sacred right. It is what makes us a leading democracy, and we should protect that under all costs.